Bailey's Beach is a private beach and club in Newport.
The way I got this house was that when Onshore shut down, the house reverted to the family, the whole family, and John bought the house. My John bought the house from John Nicholas Brown, who was Mummy's first cousin. So it never went out of the family. I mean, it was never on the open market or anything.
How many rooms does this place have?
I just don't know. It depends what you count a room. Do you count that hall a room?
Local reporters
Then the little outside hall, do you count that a room? I really promise you, I just don't know.
As a child, it was an adventure almost showing up here in the house. In a lot of ways, it felt like a museum of our family history, and we were reminded everywhere we looked exactly as to where we fit into the bigger picture of things, because there were so many ancestors whose portraits were up on the walls, and there were photographs in every room, and it's just a very powerful reminder of the legacy of the people who preceded us, going back many generations. So my father is Adam Clayton Powell III. He is the son of the late Congressman Adam Clayton Powell Jr., who actually passed away about 2 months before I was born, so I never met him. He represented Harlem in the U.S. Congress, the House of Representatives, for about 25 years, give or take. And he was a Democrat, and he was a very influential and respected and powerful Democrat. And that political orientation formed the basis of my father's side of the family. My grandfather was married to Hazel Scott, who was a jazz pianist, and she was in her time very famous also, and very well known and very respected. And so there was a pretty powerful legacy that came down on that side of the family. On my mother's side, you might say almost that there was an equal and opposite orientation, at least politically, very, very strongly on the Republican side.
Thank you for watching.
Being a product of these two families, I was given the opportunity to choose from a very, very wide range, and essentially no matter which way I turned out, I was going to be in alignment with one wing or another of the family.
Newport, Rhode Island. According to the Providence Journal, Bailey's Beach in Newport, Rhode Island was, according to the New York Times, the organization has attracted notable members of nearby families such as the Vanderbilt family, Astor family, and Sheldon Whitehouse. The 1938 hurricane destroyed the original clubhouse, and the current clubhouse and cabanas appear relatively modest to passersby. Bailey's Beach was one of the centers of elite Newport social life, along with other institutions such as the Redwood Library.
That's Margie.
Oh, okay.
She's my baby, and she's the one who had the 5 children. And you see, here's John Stoker and me.
Those were started, of course, in the 50s. They chronicle life in Germany, the 3 years that the family spent there. Then, I guess they returned to the United States, to Washington. And then they went overseas for about a year to Belgium, and then returned, and again to Washington, and then overseas to Egypt.
And it was perhaps 1947 or 1948. Our dogwood and lilacs bloomed, the vases were filled with our peonies, our lilies of the valley decorated the dining room table, and Beryl and Mr. Slocum wandered in the woods picking blueberries. We had our tea together daily between 4 and 5 o'clock in my bedroom. And the children sailed on the lake, played tennis, and read books assigned to them by Groton and Miss Hewitts.
Trinity Church, Clambake Club, Newport Reading Room, New York Yacht Club, Summer Clubhouse, and the Newport Casino.
Our life in the State Department had been such a social one that we just continued the thing the way it was. Everywhere we went, we went out 7 nights a week. In Egypt, we slept in the afternoon. It would get very hot. We would arrive at dinner in someone's garden at 10 o'clock at night. John would get up and leave leave for
Like and
the
subscribe if you
embassy
would like
at
to view
8
more of our
o'clock,
videos.
and we would come home,
Have a nice
and
day.
we'd have lunch. At that time, it would get very, very warm.
Rhode Island. According to the Providence Journal, Bailey's Beach in Newport, Rhode Island was.
You see how it burns down now? It really gives one a great deal of heat.
Members of nearby families such as the Vanderbilt family,
I like
Mr.
to do my
Family,
own
and
dusting.
Sheldon Whitehouse.
I can do
The
it so much better than
1938
anybody
hurricane
else.
destroyed the original clubhouse, and the current clubhouse and cabanas appear
I like
relatively
pictures to
modest
stand
for
erect
passers.
like soldiers.
Bailey's
I don't
Beach
like
is
them
one of
to
the centers
slope
of
and be
elite
put on in
Newport's
a
social
sloppy
life,
way.
along with
They
other
all
institutions
balance,
such
you
as
see.
the Redwood
One,
Library,
one, two,
Newport Country
one,
Club,
two,
Trinity
three.
Church, Clamdick Club.
In a historical sense, the Gilded Age is really from Lincoln's death until McKinley's death. So it goes from the end of the Civil War to Theodore Roosevelt's presidency. You need to have pedigree, you need to have wealth, you need to prove your status and your by showing it off. And so moving from place to place, filling up your time for people who don't have work becomes an occupation. You know, they give, but they certainly are much more interested in displaying their wealth than they are in giving it away.
Have a nice day.
There's also a desire to emulate the Europeans, a lifestyle that looks like European aristocracy, wearing fashionable clothes, going to the races, sailing, gambling, going to all the hot spots and watering holes that the European aristocracy would have gone to.
Yeah, Bailey's Beach is, you know, an exclusive beach social club where you pretty much have to be born in to be a member. You can't buy your way in. You can't win it in a lottery. They don't let big politicians in. That wasn't the kind of place it is. It's not for someone who owns a corporate jet or a Learjet. But if you had the pedigree and you were born into a certain family in Newport, you know, the Slocums, say, or the Pells, you can have lunch at Bailey's Beach whenever you want. But what people in Newport always talked about was John Kennedy was president of the United States, but of course he was Catholic, and he wasn't born into the society, so he would actually have to sign the tabs for lunches there at Bailey's Beach Club in the name of his father-in-law, Mr. Auchincloss.
The northeast end of the beach is open